Oh my God. You wouldn't believe what people are saying about you right now. The thing people keep whispering about, but nobody will say to your face. And I'm not talking about the surface level, oh, they're so nice stuff. I'm talking about the real, unfiltered conversation kind of energy that has your name ringing out in places you'd never even think to look. There is this weird, almost like a celebrity frequency you've stumbled into without even trying. You didn't sign up for it. You didn't ask for a spotlight, but somehow you're the topic. And it's so strange because to you, you're just getting through Tuesday. You are just trying to find your keys and remember if you fed the cat or a dog. But out there in the world, it's a whole different movie and you're the main character. And look, I get it. That might make you want to shrink. It might make you want to double check your shirt or wonder if you said something wrong. But before you do that, let's just sit with what's actually happening. Because the words people are using, they are not casual, they are specific, and it is split into two very distinct, very loud camps. And understanding both of them is the key to why you feel the way you do right now. That tightness in your chest, that's the weight of a story you are not even fully aware. You are staring in. Let me give you a metaphor that just clicked for me, and I think it's gonna land for you too. It's like you're this massive ancient iceberg floating through the ocean of life. Okay? Stick with me here, because this isn't some cheesy quote. On the surface, people see this tiny little tip. Maybe it's your smile, maybe it's the way you laugh at their jokes, maybe it's the one sentence of advice you gave them 3 months ago that they still think about. That is all they see. That's the 10%. But underneath the waterline, oh my God, there is a mountain. A whole frozen, majestic, powerful structure of experience, pain, alchemy, and love that nobody can see unless they dive deep. And most people, they just sail right by looking at the tip. But they feel the mess underneath. They feel the current shift when they get close to you. That's why they can't stop talking about you. They are trying to describe the size of something they can't even see. And that scares some people, but that inspires others. It's the same iceberg. It's just doing what icebergs do, being huge, being solid, being real, and not melting just because the sun comes out or because a few little boats bump into it. That's the energy. And let's talk about those boats for a second. Let's start with the good ones. The ones who sail up and are just grateful to be in your waters. Because there is a lot of them, more than you give yourself credit for. There is a whole section of people out there who are genuinely inspired by you. And it's not because you're out here giving talks or posting motivational quotes with sunsets. It's the opposite. It's the fact that you keep it so real it almost hurts. See, a lot of people are walking around traumatized by the game. Everyone is wearing a mask. Everyone's got an angle. Everyone's performing. But when you walk into a room or even just pop up in a text thread. There is the exhale that happens. People feel like they can finally drop their shoulders. They show and they know you have a safe, protective aura. You are not the one who is going to do the scandal stuff. You are not the one who is going to weaponize their vulnerability. It's almost like, that thing where someone comes up to you and they tell themselves, okay, I'm going to keep my guard up. I'm not going to overshare. I'm just going to keep it light. And then 45 minutes later, they're telling you something they haven't even told their therapist. Has that happened to you? Because it happens around you consistently. People spill their secrets like water, and they go home and stare at the ceiling going, why did I say that? Why did I tell them that? But then, and this is the kicker, they sit with it a little longer and the panic just dissolves. Because they know deep in their bones that you are a trustworthy person. You are vault. And that's not a common thing. You radiate standards that most people can't even fathom because they are too busy trying to get something from everyone. Yeah, but that's the energy of someone who has alchemized their pain. You've been through the very, very circumstances that were supposed to shatter you. And instead of bleeding on everyone, you turned that mess into medicine. You healed from things that would have left other people bitter and sharp. And you probably can't see it. How could you? You see yourself every day in the bathroom mirror, tired eyes, messy hair. You don't see the way your smile literally brightens up for room for someone who has been in the dark all week. You don't hear the way one conversation with you makes someone feel like, okay, maybe I can do this. People get addicted to you, to your energy, not in a creepy, needy way, but in a I can't buy this feeling in anywhere else way. Because you can't buy peace. You can't swipe a card for authenticity. That requires work. And you did the work. So people flock to it. And you don't judge them for it. That's the other thing they are saying. You're not the one gossiping or spreading rumors. If everyone at the table is tearing someone down, you're the one person who finds something good to say. You're the one person they know will speak highly of them when they leave the room. That's power. That's the iceberg. Just sitting there, unmoved, holding space. But, and you knew there was a but coming, didn't you? Because that go-getter, care-bear energy you carry, it's polarizing, and polarizing means exactly what you think it means. For every person whispering, I trust them with my life, there is another person staring daggers into the back of your head when you walk through the grocery store. You felt it. You've been out in public and caught someone looking at you like you owe them money. And you're like, do I ever know this person? No, you don't. But they know of you. Your name is being brought up in group chats where the goal isn't celebration. The goal is dissection. They are trying to find a reason, any reason, a flaw, a slip up, something to put the evil eye on you and justify why your existence makes them feel so small. And here is where it gets real uncomfortable. Some of these people, they are the same ones you were just uplifting. They are the ones you supported. They are the ones who smiled in your face. But your energy is a spotlight that also casts a shadow. And for people who refuse to do the work, who refuse to rise, your light exposes their own stagnation. They can't handle the frequency, they can't match the vibration, so they have to demonize it in their mind. They have twisted the narrative so much that they genuinely believe you are the problem. And they are on the mission to get other people to believe it too. It spreads like wildfire because drama is cheap entertainment. And you've heard the stories. You've heard the wild, creative, almost impressive fiction they have spun about you. The angles they take are so absurd, they almost make you laugh. Because what else can you do? You passed the humiliation ritual. That's the secret. That's actually the secret weapon they don't understand. You've learned to be your best friend. You've locked in a frequency where you only care about internal validation. Whether the whispers are singing your praises or plotting your downfall, the volume is the same to you. Background noise. You care about your opinion of yourself. That's it. That's the whole game. And as soon as you hit that switch, as soon as you stopped looking outside for permission to feel okay, you became a danger to the matrix. The people saying the bad things, they were hoping it would break you. They were hoping the gossip would get back to you and you'd crumble or lash out or prove them right. But it gets back to you and you shrug. Maybe you even laugh a little bit because it's so far from who you are. And that terrifies them. They don't know how to affect you anymore. You've taken away the only weapon they had, your attention. Let's go back to that iceberg for a second, because this is where it gets really good. That iceberg, it doesn't care if the water is calm or if there is a storm. It doesn't care if a cruise ship full of fans floats by or if a little speedboat of haters circles it 100 times. It just is. It is the same ice it was 1,000 years ago. It's dense, it's ancient, and the only reason it's visible at all is because it is so massive that it can't help but break the surface. You can't hide that kind of presence, and you shouldn't want to. That's the thing they don't tell you about, having this kind of energy. You're not here to manage the weather for everyone else. You're not here to shrink yourself so someone else's boat doesn't feel small. The deep, cold, quiet truth of it all is that you are exactly where you're supposed to be, exactly as you are. And the chatter, the love and the hate is just the sound of the waves hitting something that refuses to move. And I know it's a lot to hold sometimes, feeling seen and unseen at the same time, but there is a freedom in knowing that the volume of that conversation has nothing to do with your worth. It never did. You've already proven to yourself that you can walk through fire and come out the other side not as ash, but as something harder, clearer, more brilliant. You don't owe anyone an explanation for your peace. You don't need to soften your glow to make someone else's shadow look less dark. The people who are meant to find you will find you. They will pull up their little boats and they will just sit there in awe of the size of you, grateful for the calm water you create. And the rest, they will just have to keep talking. And you will just keep being exactly who you are supposed to be, unbothered, unmatched, and finally completely free.